Welcome to Alberta Conservation Association's Harvest Your Own podcast, the resource for everything hunting, navigating through the field, the butcher shop, and the kitchen. Life is all about great food. Let's get started.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Brad Fenson, an avid outdoor enthusiast who has worked as a freelance journalist, photographer, and public speaker for over 3 decades. I have hunted, fished, and foraged all my life and hope to share my passion for the outdoors. Along the way, I want to encourage everyone to harvest wild proteins and enjoy the satisfaction of providing the next meal for your family. Our goal is to educate, entertain, and inspire individuals to get outdoors and create a connection between food, health, and your future meals. Welcome to Harvest Your Own. Today I have an old friend in the studio, and she's not old. It's just that we've known each other for a long time. Jill Frederick, welcome.
Hi, thanks, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've got a favorite picture of you. I mentioned that earlier, and you didn't know what it was. And, it was at the Sherwood Park Fish and Game event.
That was a long time ago.
Used to sponsor a trophy there, and you were handing it out. And I think you were about 12 or 14 years old and presenting me with the trophy. And it's a real cool photo that I have kept all these years.
And I would love to get a copy of that.
Yeah, lots of fun. Your history. Who's Jill? What do you do?
What do I do? Well, currently I'm working full-time and in telecommunications, and I'm raising 2 fine young men, if I do say so myself.
Yes, they are. They're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I've got that shirt that says, you can't scare me. I have 2 daughters. You could easily have that for your life, except it would be boys.
Big bad boys sometimes.
You grew up in a family with no sisters?
Nope.
2 brothers?
2 older brothers.
Right. And now you have 2 sons, no daughters.
That's right.
Yeah. So you understand how to deal with the guys.
Well, I try to. I'm learning every day.
Right. But, it's important because you were the youngest, you were the daughter. Did that mean that you never got a chance to go do the things the boys did?
Well, when I was younger, I always looked up to my brothers, and they got to do all the fun stuff. Oh. So I spent a lot more time with my mom, which is great. Yep. But I always wanted to be out in the field with my dad. And, I was quite the tomboy, and back then, it wasn't really a girl thing to do.
No, things have changed a lot, hasn't it?
Very much so.
In a short period of time.
Even just in the last 10 years, noticed a big difference. So, and I remember crying on the doorstep when my dad would take my brothers out to the cabin and go bird hunting. And then, I don't know, somewhere along the way, my crying worked, and Dad finally took me.
Do you remember how it happened? Did he say, hey, do you want to come along this time? Or did you go ask him, or you don't know?
I probably think he just kind of got tired of the whining and said, let's do this, and get me to stop. So, right. And that's kind of where it all started, and created a really amazing bond with my dad and I.
It's amazing the bond you have with hunting. People don't understand that until they try it. Whether it's with a child of yours or a parent or even your spouse or best friend, the friends you make in the field, hunting, it's because you're sharing more than just a friendship. It's an experience. It's part of what defines us a little bit.
That's right. It is really how it defines us. And it's not just a hobby, it's a passion for so many people. Yeah.
So. And from what I saw over the years and the pictures and the things that I know, it made an influence on your dad too.
I like to think so. Like my dad, longtime hunting consultant and outfitter in Alberta. And he, I know he's very proud of me. Yeah. And we still talk about our stories and everything. And I know it brings a smile to his face because it does to me. So. Right.
Do you have, you must have a couple memorable hunts with your dad?
Pretty much most of my early on hunts were all with my dad. He was the one who really got me out there. He's my favorite guide, and even to this day, the favorite guide to have. Yeah. And, we had a lot of great hunts that were not successful. There was a few walks of shame, but,
that's part of hunting though, right?
Oh, if it was easy, it wouldn't be as fun. You have to fail to succeed. And there was a lot of fails. There was a lot of shells thrown.
I don't even call them failures. I think they're part of the learning curve. So it's as you put all the pieces of the puzzle, you gather more pieces of the puzzle every time you go out. And then eventually it starts to look like something.
That's right.
Yeah.
big thing is you have to go to the shooting range. You can't just show up and shoot a gun at a running deer. So that was a big experience. And my dad made sure I went to the shooting range after our first couple of mule deer hunts. So
well, and that's good. I started our girls quite young. They're in the yard here, and we played with a toy gun at first, and tried to slow down that trigger pull, which was a yank.
Yep.
And then they shot pellet guns, and they've shot 22s. Now they're shooting 410s, and they do quite well.
Yeah.
Addie, when we got her started, she drew her own targets of rough grouse, and she shot until she could shoot it in the eye on the target.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny about how to trigger time can make a big difference. And, there's lots of organizations that help teach our kids if we don't know how.
Oh, there's amazing organizations that I've been part of in the past. And, bringing the youth up in hunting is one of my biggest passions. So.
Right. Now, one hunt that sticks out in my mind, I remember the photos from years ago. I don't know how many, but it's a couple decades probably. A very nice elk that you shot in Alberta.
Yeah. That was 14 years ago. I should have maybe looked at my stats before I came here. My dad and I both got drawn down in Suffield.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty prestigious tag to get drawn for, and everyone wanted to go out there. And Dad and I went out. We stayed in this really awful motel together. And
I might have been there once or twice over the years too.
I'm trying to block that out of my mind. But, and it was a freezing cold. It was minus 30 wind. And we were out hunting, and, we both had our tags. And my dad said, well, if we see one, you can shoot first. And, I'm pretty competitive, and I really like that. But I'm like, well, no, we can do like paper, rock, scissors because, make it fair. But he insisted that I go.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wasn't a kid. I mean, even though 15 years ago I wish I was a kid, but I wasn't.
You were still his kid.
I was still his baby girl.
Yes,
yeah. And he let me shoot first. And, we've talked about it. And I kind of, from a competitive side, I never really understood that. And, but now that I have my own kids, I definitely see the joy seeing your own child, whether they're 30 or 15.
Yeah.
It's a real big joy to see them succeed.
Yeah. And you guys got a very nice elk.
I did. Yep. Very proud of them.
Yeah. Like pushing Boone and Crockett class elk. And in Alberta, that's huge.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to you.
It sure does. Yeah.
Very memorable.
Very cold, very memorable.
Yeah.
We got 2 pictures. So this is before it was too cold for our camera, and my dad had the old, just regular camera, and literally there was 2 pictures because it was too cold to even take a picture outside, but we got a really great one. Yeah.
And it's funny how you remember all the little details about the horrible motel and the cold and all that.
Yeah.
It becomes such a great memory. And you shot the big elk. Did your dad actually get one too?
Yeah, he got one. The next weekend I couldn't go out. He went with my brother and he shot one. Very nice elk, but not as big as mine.
My point was, I bet you he feels that elk is just as much his for different reasons.
Of course. Yeah. It's like hunting. It's not just the shooter whose trophy it is. It's being there, no matter who it is, your friend or your kids.
And those bonds with our parents is pretty special.
They are.
Yeah. Like those are probably your favorite hunts is with your dad, memories of getting in the field.
He's given me lots of really great opportunity that I wouldn't have normally had. And even now as an adult, he had a lot of great connections, and I was able to piggyback on some of those with him. So
sweet. You've also had some very coveted tags in Alberta,
Yeah.
What was it? We're teasing people here.
Yeah. In 2006, I got the sheep draw, the first year that they did the random raffle.
Yep.
I don't know what did they call it, but
no priority.
The no priority one, and it was the first year, and I got it drawn on the 3rd week. So I didn't even know what I had. I got a sheep tag. I wasn't a sheep hunter. Our family we're not sheep hunters per se. We're more of the deer hunters.
Yep.
And once I got it, and people started talking to me, I realized, how fortunate I was to get drawn on that.
Yeah.
So, and that was another.
Tell us a little bit about the hunt.
Again, I was fortunate because it was quite nice the first few days of the 3rd week, and I was out with Trevor. We were with George Kelly and Jonas Gwynn. Were helping us out there. They know the country really well, and I kind of thought I was a tough chick, but I cried on that hunt. I mean, I was with George most of the time, and George was Well, he was old. I mean, he was late mid-70s probably. And I remember when we were talking, he's like, hey, sweetheart, you better make sure that you're in good shape because there's going to be mountains to climb. And I'm like, yeah, into my mind. And he wasn't kidding. I remember walking behind him, and it was very physically difficult for myself. And I wasn't happy.
No.
And, so we got there and we had our little spot or resting point. We had a little...
On the ridge top.
On the ridge. Yeah. In the middle of one of the bowls. And he went for a walk and he's like, you just stay here. He went for a walk. And I remember he said, don't shoot anything unless I'm here. And he goes, and if you do, you better make sure it's legal. And I did some, reading and making sure I know what I was going into, because I was quite naive. And about an hour after he left, I just kind of looked behind my shoulder and a lone sheep was walking down the bowl right towards me. And we had a walkie-talkie and I just like, George, there's one coming. And he's like, I'm like, I think it's nice. And he goes, make sure it's legal. So I'm there and I'm freaking out. And he got closer and he was legal.
Oh yeah.
And I took him. I was very successful, one shot. And, they heard it and they came running. And it was about 15, 20 minutes after I shot it. And as soon as they came over the ridge, I just, arms in there, I'm like, he's legal. So it was really funny. And it was, that was our 5th day hunting. And the best part of George never called me Jill.
Right.
He called me dear, darling, sweetheart, hey you. And then when we were back in camp, he goes, way to go, Jill. And he used my first name.
Yeah, and he's a good example of what I call mountains are mental. If you tell yourself it's hard, it's going to be hard. So you never do. We're going to climb some tall mountains today. You got to look at it as a positive thing and away you go. And but it's easy to get discouraged and not want to go. But congrats for having the gumption to go even when it wasn't fun.
I think I went because I didn't know what I was getting into. But, I definitely go again.
Yes.
Work out a little bit more.
Yeah. So those are some pretty awesome hunts.
This podcast is produced for Harvest Your Own, a program dedicated to those who want to reconnect with food and health through their experiences outdoors. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a resource for individuals to learn more about hunting and the outdoors. There's information to get you started and ensure that your compass stays pointed in the right direction to be successful. Where's your next meal coming from?
Your dad is instrumental in getting you going. I'm sure your brothers were along somewhere there as well. You've hunted with them a little bit?
A little bit. They've been around, but, it was primarily Dad.
Yep.
And, I'm just the kid's sister. And, I mean, we get along great. We do lots of stuff, but I've been fortunate to hunt with Nick's kids.
Right. That's what I was going to get at. Like the mentorship you've had from your dad and the bond that you've had, you really wanted to pass that on because it was special. Mm-hmm. And so what have you done with some of your nieces and nephews?
So Nick's oldest daughter, on her first bear hunt back in 2011, she was 16. Her and I went on a random 8-hour drive northern Saskatchewan, and I was able to be with her in the stand on her first bear hunt, and a successful bear hunt. And it was just awesome seeing it. Like after she pulled the trigger, she wasn't sure what was going on, and you can hear her panting and asking me if it was down, and it was down, and it was really, really special.
Yeah, it's funny how bears create a bit more of an adrenaline rush at times, I think. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because
I think you have time to get excited because they come in and you see them, and then you're like, oh my God, is that the one? Is it big? Is it small? Then you start panicking and questioning, and then you have time to think about it. So that gets your nerves going, I think.
Yeah, and taking out first-time hunters, what did you notice about them? Were they calm and cool and collected?
No. I mean, I was just as excited for her as I've been for anyone. Yeah. But, I always try and be like the cool auntie or the cool mom. And, having somebody younger look up to you, I mean, the big thing with that gives me more of a confidence. I mean, I've never been out in the field by myself. I look forward to doing it. But, when they're there, you really have to step up and kind of you're in charge and you're the mentor. So it gives me great confidence to share and be part of it with them.
Yeah, I think that's pretty special. We interviewed Linda Powell, we had her on the podcast a couple times, and she does something with their nieces and nephews when they're young. She buys their first gun for them. And when our twins were born, the girls, she sent them their first 410s because it's a tradition she does with family and friends, and it's really important to her
Yeah.
to give them the tools to be able to do these things when they're ready.
Right.
So, you didn't hunt a lot with your brothers, but being able to take their kids out has been
It's real special.
a reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're busy too, and having that opportunity to be part of it is, it's a passion of mine, and I love those kids like they're my own. So
Right. And it also makes you their favorite aunt, of course.
I hope so.
Now you've taken it one step further. Your boys, you got Nash and Luke.
Yep.
Very active young fellas. They're playing hockey. You're certainly a mom on the go because you have to be.
Yep.
You got one of them out already. They're old enough to hunt?
Yeah, they're both old enough to hunt now that the age is 10.
Changed, yeah.
We'd always take them out to the cabin and same thing, have the 22 out there shooting and a little gopher shooting here and there. And, their favorite thing is like, shoot them in the head. And, just they've been exposed to it from day one too. And they got a real amazing passion for the outdoors and fishing. And it's amazing how much I've learned from them. They're little sponges. They really hold on to that information. And I've learned so much from them, from passion. And I look forward to sharing that and many more hunts with them.
Sounds like they're getting lots of trigger time.
Yep.
Because that is so important. I keep stressing that is the more time you spend on the trigger, the more accurate and consistent you're going to be and the more confident. A lot of times shooting is confidence.
Yeah. Well, they have confidence. So, but, sometimes they got to be reminded that it's not that easy. You know, 22, it's easy, but Nash is shooting, they're both shooting 300s.
Oh, wow.
And they passed the smaller guns. They went right into the big one because that's what they wanted. And now that's what they're used to. So, but every time we go to the cabin or the lodge, we make sure we have the guns for them.
Spend time. Now, do they get a chance to hunt with uncles or grandpa at all?
Grandpa's not doing too much hunting now. Right, and, Nick and Dan, they're really busy with their business.
And kids and everything else.
But I'm fortunate enough that I've been able to I took Nash on his first bear hunt.
Yep.
Bear hunt's kind of my thing. I love it. And just, again, him and I went up to the camp and same thing. We went out and when they said, okay, you're sitting in the stand by yourself, Jill. I'm like, well, no guide. Like I had a guide still with Jamie sitting in a couple trees over. But they're like, no, we're full camp and you're on your own. And I was scared and nervous, but, I was really proud and it worked out good. And watching a lot of the video footage, I'm like, hey, I didn't do that bad as a guide, talk Nash off the ledge. And and it was just amazing seeing his excitement and before, during, after, and everything.
There's little doubt that he's hooked.
He's hooked. Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit, because bear hunting, you could describe it as, could be hours of boredom waiting for something to do. You're trying to count mosquitoes and watch the squirrels run back and forth when not a lot's happening.
Right.
But when a bear shows up.
Yeah. 45 minutes after we sat in the stand, first day, we knew there was a nice bear in the area and it was a beautiful chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Bear.
Even better.
Yeah. He beat his mom. But the bear came in and as soon as he came in, Nash was, cool as a cucumber and I got this, Mom, and, cool kid that he is. And then all of a sudden I looked over and I'm just elbowed him. I'm like, there's your bear. Like we saw the chevron and I'm like, that's the one. And he started breathing and you hear it in the videos, like the panting. And then I looked and he's shaking and quivering and the bear was still not in a good spot. And I'm like, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait. We're not taking a bad shot. It's this is your first big game that you're shooting at. And so we were fortunate. We had about 40 minutes of watching him kind of weave in and out of the trees. And then he sat on the other side of the barrel and gave Nash the opportunity to get his composure, calm down. He had the sight on him for, 20 minutes. And then, the bear got up and I just talked him through and take him and boom, he did. And then there was tears, not tears of sadness, but just overwhelming.
Yeah.
He was just so thrilled. I cried with just such pride. And it was
people don't
amazing.
understand that about hunting. When we harvest something, there's a mixture of emotions. Some of it is sadness for the animal, but elation about being able to pull all these things together and be successful. It's a real mixture of things. Yeah. But the adrenaline dump you get and that feeling you get, is there anything in life that can replace it? I always said that You have to be a hunter to understand it, but it's part of why we always go back for more.
Yeah, I mean, I can't explain it myself because you know it happens, but you kind of forget it happens when it's over. Like
Right.
it's just something that it just takes over, and it's amazing. I mean, if you weren't getting excited, if you weren't getting emotional, if you didn't get nervous, you're hunting for the wrong reasons.
And you're probably not going to enjoy it enough to want to go back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that over-the-top excitement, adrenaline rush that you can't get from downhill skiing or doing any of the other things in the great outdoors that makes it so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So I get to take Luke up, my youngest. He's 12 next week, and so him and I are taking the road trip up to camp, and him and I are going to do that too.
Those are special times. Like
It really is. It's 8 hours in a vehicle, and you learn a lot about your kid when you're kind of forced to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time, and
Yeah, I don't think it's forced. I mean, I think it's time well spent.
It is, yeah.
It's like you couldn't find a better way to be a parent and introduce them to things that, keep them pointed, keep their compass pointed in the right direction, because there's lots of distractions in life that aren't good for them.
there is, yeah.
Yeah.
There is, yeah. So it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Are the boys competitive?
They are. I mean, so am I. They are competitive. There is a lot of talk with the bear already. You know, Nash is very fortunate. He got a real 7'4" chocolate with a chevron. You know, for his first bear, I'm like, it's going to be pretty hard to beat. You know, you're young, but those bears don't come around every day. And so Luke's, you know, he's already like, I'm going to get a blonde one. And I said, it doesn't really matter. We're going to do this. This is going to be our hunting trips. But yeah, you can see the poking has already started.
Oh yeah. That's always part of it too. And I think that's brothers, you know. Mm-hmm. I had two brothers growing up, and we were fairly competitive and had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch them grow and do more hunts and be part of that.
Oh, that's pretty special.
This podcast was made possible by Alberta Conservation Association and the Harvest Your Own community. If you're interested in harvesting your own food, there's a comprehensive collection of information to gain insight and knowledge. Head to the field, harvest your own protein, prepare it, and taste the results. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a library of information from getting started and geared up to processing, butchering, and cooking wild game to make the connection between health and food.
Another part of it is for years, besides handing out the trophy at award banquets, you've always shown up in different places with different organizations as a volunteer.
Yeah, it started as simple as, going to banquets with my dad. I think my dad was supposed to be handing out those awards, and he always made me do it, which, looking back now, I probably really didn't want to do it, but I was forced to. And I'm so glad I did, because it really brought me into the hunting family, meeting so many people, a lot of my dad's friends. And so doing those awards, and I did 10 years with APOS on their AGM meeting and convention.
Nice.
And worked with AHIA, selling tickets and AHIA at the Sportsman Show. I think that's where you and I met. It's one of those fishing hole shows, like really met me as an adult, not as the 12-year-old. And, just the people that you meet are just, it's always just so much fun.
Yeah, it's always worth giving something back too. He has played a critical role in helping train. It's not the next generation; it's been generations, because Alberta has one of the oldest programs in North America that many other jurisdictions copy, because why reinvent the wheel when it's a good wheel?
That's right.
So, whatever enticed you to get out in the first place? You just asked, or did you?
I think it was just little bit by bit, and just being on the board here, and someone says, "Oh, we needed some help," and I did a lot of that before I had kids, so I had a lot of time to do those things. And I just love it. I love the trade shows. I love talking to people, and and just hanging out and trying to make a difference.
Are you trying to say that it's rewarding being a volunteer? You actually enjoy it?
It is very rewarding. I mean, some of my people that I call closest friends, I've met through the trade shows and hunting industry, and they're good people. Right. And fun. Lots of fun, lots of laughs.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen you have fun over the years. It's up to you whether you have fun in life, and your decisions help dictate that.
Yeah.
You're very active now with Safari Club International.
Yeah. So last year at the Boat and Sportsman Show, I went to visit their booth, and one of the board members said, "Hey, do you want to be on the board?" And since having kids, I didn't really have a lot of time, and I kind of really pulled myself away from hunting and all the organizations. And now that they're older, and I mean, life's busy, but it's easier to leave them if I have to go do something. I just said, yeah, I'm in. I want to really get it back into it for the kids too, and meet more people. And so I've been on the board 1 year, and I'm loving it. I'm first female
Yes.
on the SCI board. So I'm pretty proud of that, because we do a lot of initiatives for youth and female hunting. And
yeah, they have specific programs for youth and for ladies.
Yeah.
And there's more room for ladies on that board, is there not?
there sure is.
There sure is.
Yeah, you just got to send us a message and let us know if you want to be part of it, and or even just volunteer. Even at the Sportsman Show, we could have used more volunteers. So, and it's fun seeing the kids come up and visiting us and talking, and you don't have to know a lot. You can just be there representing. So
yeah.
Don't be intimidated, because, we don't bite. So.
Right. And, we interviewed Tim McKinnon on here. We had an episode because the name Safari Club International is a little bit misleading. You think it's a bunch of guys dressed up in khaki shorts and round hats, and they're out, chasing elephants or something.
That's right.
But that's not the case
far.
at all. The programs in Alberta are incredible, from the sensory safari where blind people get to come and experience wildlife in the only way they can, like with
touch.
their hands and explore things. But, the programs to help fund
the Hunting Heritage Grant. Yeah, we did, every year is different, and, we don't like to put a dollar sign on it, but every year, depending on the organization, we gave, I think it was 10 this year. I'm going to say substantial size grants to youth and women, and, and wildlife conservation programs. So anyone can apply for them for next year and fill out the forms, and we take it to a board, and we approve, and it's great. And all that money comes from, our raffles and donations and memberships.
And dinners and all the fundraisers that you do. Yeah. Very successful. But, Safari Club takes it that one extra step. And we talked about this with Tim is, if there's a single mom out there that just doesn't have the finances to send their kids to camp or to go herself to learn more so she could, do things with the kids, Safari Club steps up and they'll cover you. You just have to apply.
Honor that. Yeah. I didn't know that when I sent my kids to camp. It was just something I didn't know. But no, it's all good. I don't mind paying for that, because the money goes to a really great cause. But we want the women, and we want the children, especially those that show interest, if their family might not, it's not just about hunting. It's fishing, it's outdoors, it's conservation, and it's just nature. So, and it's a way better place to be than behind your screen. Well,
and I often say this, that our future is really dependent on people like you, people that show up, people that volunteer at AHIA, at SCI, take their nieces, nephews, their boys out. Like, it doesn't happen for everyone. That makes it very special.
Yeah.
You're there for all of us to help ensure that the things that everyone loves is going to be there today, tomorrow, and well into the future.
Yep. And you can see, like, slowly we're getting younger people come to our banquets, and it's so great to see 12, 14, 18, 20-year-olds, right? So,
but buy your tickets early.
Well, you're going to have to wait till next year. It's sold out. So you better know somebody who has a ticket.
It sells out quick.
It sells out quick, and everybody wants in, because it is just an amazing
experience. Yeah. It's more than a dinner and a fundraiser. It's a social evening that's hard to define unless you're an outdoors person that appreciates the community we live in within Alberta.
Yep. Yeah, it's fun, and I'm so glad I'm part of that.
Now, your boys, they're going to be fairly helpful with you because they love to cook, or at least some do.
Yeah, Nash loves to cook, and Luke's realizing he better start learning to cook. Yeah.
But that's a big bonus for Mom, because I understand that you're not even allowed to touch steaks anymore at the house.
Steak is Nash's domain. Yes. And he loves it. He knows how he likes it. He cooks it perfect, and he lets it rest. That's the key, he tells me.
That's his secret. But he doesn't just cook for himself. He cooks for the whole family.
He cooks for the whole family. We'll get him to do at least one dinner, like a real dinner, not just pierogies.
Once a week.
Once a week, And Luke's starting to get in there helping him. And
empowering through knowledge and experience.
That's right.
Yeah. And how proud is he?
He's really proud.
Right. So, families out there that think that their kids can't do it, you just got to give them a chance.
You got to give him a chance. And I laugh. I'm simple in the kitchen, and he likes to eat. So he even said, he goes, if I want to eat different things, I got to learn how to cook them myself. And so I'd like to say that was my plan, but it just kind of worked out. So, and I really enjoy his cooking. He gets different things.
He's already thinking about it, expanding his horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like that a lot. Always looking for something new. I still am.
Yeah.
And I think
if you want to cook for me anytime, Brad. Yeah.
Well, I've often said, when we have the Oilers in the playoffs or something's going on, we should have like a tailgate party.
I'm in. I'm free that day. I'm free that day. Yeah.
It would certainly be lots of fun. This isn't easy for everyone. Society's gotten so busy nowadays that it's hard to find 5 minutes to sit down and put your feet up.
Right.
How do you do it? You got advice for other families? There's maybe some ladies listening. They're like, I don't know how she does that because I got nothing left in the tank at the end of the day and I don't have an extra day to do these. But
well, that's a big thing because, as a mom, we always put everyone else first.
Right.
And that can be very tiresome for all of us. And we don't have time. But I found just in the last year or a couple years when I started getting back into hunting, and, some people might call it selfish, but I don't, because I do believe you got to take care of yourself and fulfill your own dreams and passions. And it's really kind of refreshed me. So I go up to bear camp every year. That's like my one little treat. And I go to the wild sheep with my brother, and it's my break from reality, but I'm in my passion. You have to do it, whether it's by yourself. There's so many women out there. I mean, if there's any women that don't have women friends in the industry, they can call me because, I got a few girlfriends that like to hunt, but I don't have a lot. I mean, it's still very male dominated, but you have to take care of yourself. And now, that I'm doing these things and, meeting more people and a little more opportunity is kind of come into my lap. My boys think I'm kind of cool now,
Very good.
I don't just keep them alive. I'm giving them experiences and different opportunities and exposing them to different camps and events that they love. And
it broadens everyone's horizon.
Yeah.
And taking that critical time for yourself to do something for yourself, to create some fulfillment, happiness, all the rest of it, has actually empowered your sons to help make dinner once a week.
That's
and all the rest of it. So there's actually a lot of benefits that come that you might not even think could occur.
Right. And and I mean, my kids are old enough that I tell them, like, they know that, I work full time and they're a full-time job with their hockey and sports. And I just tell them, like, I need some downtime too. And now they're old enough and they're like, yeah, go do it. Even telling them about this podcast, they're like, I'm proud of you, Mom, and good luck. And, so
perfect.
They're pretty excited for me, and that makes it very rewarding.
Well, it's been a pleasure to know you for years.
Yes.
And we cross paths regularly. And my girls look up to you, and my wife
They're
does.
sweet, yeah.
And that's because you do show up. And to hear that you do it for the right reasons, not because you're forced to or want to. You're doing it for Jill.
I am.
Yeah, that makes it pretty special. And I think that's a powerful message that we can sort of leave the listeners with, whether you're a lady yourself, or maybe some of the guys are listening thinking, you know what? Oh, I'd sure like to see my wife get into this. Maybe I need to empower her and give her some time off to try to explore some of these things as well.
For sure. We become a little more happier too. So just remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. The great outdoors does create happiness.
It sure does.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out today and sharing your message. I think it's a very important one.
Thanks for having me, Brad. It's been awesome.
And we'll continue to follow you on your journey.
Oh, thank you.
We hope to inspire people to reconnect with nature and appreciate where your food comes from by harvesting your own. For more information on getting started or to learn specifics about the Field to Fork experience, visit harvestyourown.ca and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Check back often for new material, recipes, and videos that are posted regularly. Please subscribe to Harvest Your Own podcast and take the time to rate and review the show to help us build a dedicated core of passionate hunters as our regular audience. Until next time, embrace the outdoors and all it has to offer. Thanks for joining us.